is the idea of shedding. Is that still a thing, by the way?
Yeah, recent study has come out on this hooker and all, and the world's expert Helene Benoon from France, I've had on my show, Matt. It's real. Shedding is real. We're getting some exposure, certainly of the spike protein, maybe messenger RNA from freshly vaccinated people or people who just, over time have high circulating spike protein levels in their bloodstream and in their tissues. It comes through exosomes, which are inhaled phospholipid packets. They're exhaled and inhaled. So, I think that's a level of exposure. I checked my blood test for antibodies against the spike protein, and I was shocked at how my levels were. And I didn't take the vaccines. Matt, have you checked your blood test level?
No, I haven't. I don't even know how to do that.
Yeah, ask your doctor for the LabCorp extended range spike protein antibody assay. It's done by a company called Roche. It's a Roche Alexis assay. And the normal is less than zero point 0.8 units per ml. But I can tell you, virtually everybody has had COVID now. So it's 0 to 1,000 is low risk. And then progressively over 1,000 has been related to symptoms of long COVID, vaccine syndromes like blood clots and myocarditis. And I think it's an impetus to go on these natural supplements, detoxification. You go on Amazon, you can buy these. These are very inexpensive. And I think everybody should play it safe and take nattokinase, bromelain, and curcumin. People say for how long? And clinically, I recommend a year, but if well tolerated, continue it indefinitely. You know why? Because of shedding. Even if we're not getting COVID over and over again, we're getting exposed to a lot of people who took the shots.
Oh, okay. Because in my mind, for the last 6 months to a year, at least 6 months, the idea of COVID is like so beyond me. If someone has, I don't even care anymore. Like we're so normalized to it. There's like no fear in it. And the worst case scenario, most people are like, oh, I got COVID, and they go home for 2 or 3 days. They feel sick, and then everyone's back, right? There's no more waiting. There's just like, as soon as you feel better, people are out back on the road, just like you would for the flu or the cold or
Mm-hmm.
anything else. People treat it the same.
Mm-hmm.
Should we still be treating it the same?
Yeah, it's like the common cold. The key thing, Matt, is if you've had COVID before, if you have a well-documented case of COVID, you're good. It's like the common cold. I don't even use any tests anymore. The best prevention, Matt, is using nasal sprays and gargles. Now, I noticed today you're a little bit congested. You really want to use a nasal spray twice a day. Like the one I use today is Clear, Xlear,
Hmm.
and it's xylitol, grapefruit seed extract. These are natural products. And spray it up the nose, sniff it back, and spit it out, and then gargle. I'll gargle with scope or Listerine or colloidal silver gargle or peroxide, whatever I have, and twice a day. Because when you get COVID or a cold, the virus is in your nose for 5 days before you really know it. And you have to clear it out. You have to zap it a little bit so your body's immune system can fight off a smaller population of the viral particles. You just can't go day by day and just let a population of viral particles multiply in your nose. By the time you get a sore throat, which is the lymphatic drainage from the nose to the throat, by the time you have a sore throat, you've had the virus in your nose for about 5 days, 5 to 7
Hmm.
days. So, Matt, this was so bad that I was sick every month during the pandemic because I was seeing so many patients and I was traveling. I was giving a lot of lectures. And I finally got my act together. And I'd use the nasal spray religiously at Calvary Chapel in San Jose. I'm on the road a lot, on airplanes. Every time I get off, I do a couple squirts of the nasal spray. And Matt, I'm proud to tell you, I've had 7 months now, zero colds or viral illnesses.
Huh. I need to do that because I have my daughter is 2.5 years old, and because of that, I'm around a lot of really young children these days. Birthday parties,
Oh,
like
yeah.
baby gyms and things like this. And I went from never getting sick to I'm just constantly getting sick, just like 24
Oh,
hours at a time, because I'm just taking all those germs, and
That's
little
it.
kid walks by, coughs in my face, keeps on walking away. It's like you just want to shake them, but you can't because they're not your kid. you know?
Yeah, you need to get, I think the best tolerated one is called Clear, XLEAR. It's only like $6 or $8 at CVS or Walgreens or Amazon. Another one, wellness company, we have Immune Mist. That's a saline and iodine. Another product is Betadine or Neomed. There's a whole bunch of products out there, but get a nasal spray, get a companion gargle, and do it twice a day. It's the smartest thing. So I finally got don't do it just as needed. Now, there's a recent study published in Lancet Respiratory Diseases. It's called the Immune Defense Study. And it's a huge study of about 15,000 people done in the UK. And they just did the nasal sprays on demand, meaning when you thought someone sneezed on you or you thought you're coming down with it. And when you do that, it reduces the chances of getting a cold by a little bit, like a 20% reduction. If you really want to avoid the colds altogether, you've got to do it every day.
I totally took notes on that. I'm going to go get some today because, again, I'm not a person that gets sick. And the last 6 months, my daughter going everywhere and being around all the kids and these little kid playgrounds and all this stuff, it's just constant.
Oh, Matt, another thing that will make you sick, and this happened to me, is taking annual influenza vaccines or flu shots. I took 40 flu shots over the years because I had to. I was on medical staff and they had a requirement. And every year I got a series of colds. Now I reported on my Substack, there had been a randomized trial showing that if you take the flu shot, it makes you more likely to get the common cold.
Huh. Again. Okay. We're seeing this pattern because at this point, we're at pattern, right? It's not a coincidence, it's not a trend. I mean, we're at full pattern now. Is that they come out with these vaccines or they come out with these shots, like the flu shot or whatever else. And it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. And if anything, it makes you sicker. We're seeing this over and over and over again. What kind of accountability is there? Or how do we why is there no way to break free from this kind of doom cycle that we feel like we're stuck in?
Well, it happens with vaccines, Matt, in the United States, because there's liability protection for the vaccine manufacturers. It's called the Vaccine Injury Compensation Act from 1986. So if you take a vaccine and there's a side effect, there's nothing you can do. You can't sue the manufacturer. And so if we restore liability, if we actually get rid of that 1986 act that was written by HHS and Congress under President Reagan, if we get rid of that, then I bet a bunch of these products would come off the market because the companies know they're not safe enough.
Thanks for watching the clip. If you want to see the full episode, click here. If you want to see more clips, click here.